Well, hello, my loves. Molly here. It's CTK with you all. Well, what are we going to be talking about tonight? It's a great question. Hi, Zach. Zach's here. Oh, hello, Diane and Amy. Hi, Amanda, Rose, Dorsety, Sarah, Alicia. Hi. Hi, Crystal, Lisa. Hi, Sam, Josh, Emily. Yay. Hey, from Monroe, Georgia. Yay, yay, yay. Hello, hello, hello. So, I can't stop talking about the same thing over and over and over again. So, if it's getting annoying, give me something new to talk about, but kind of like in a can't stop, won't stop mode. And, listen, I guess I'm your coach and I really am very into contemplative prayer. And usually before I sit down, I just sort of sit down and I ask something bigger than me what I should talk about. And, then I talk about it, but I'm always down to talk about something else. Remember that one time we talked about nut butters with like the best conversation? Well, that's because somebody encouraged me to talk about the nut butters. So anyway, if you have an idea, keep me updated. Send me a little DM, send me a little love. But I had 5 sessions today at Beacon program. And, there was so much of this not being willing or not feeling deserving of having feelings. And I thought we should talk a little bit about that tonight, especially because we are actually closing the kitchen. And a lot of the reason that Close the Kitchen was invented was during the quarantine when we were just locked in our houses. And I was getting so many reports about the night binging and the overeating at night and the going into the kitchen. And, we know that is so often because we're denying our feelings and we're looking for nourishment and we're looking for nourishing. And we turn to the sugar, we turn to the food to sort of numb it or soothe it. And listen, for some people that works. Usually for people who hang out with me, doesn't work. Ends up making us feel demoralized, makes us feel hopeless, the game. But there's something that happens, and I think especially in these incredibly trying, sad, overwhelming, exhausting times. Now, that's how I feel about these times, is how I feel about what's going on. So maybe that's not where you are with this whole thing, but if it is, just stay with me. And what was the common theme today in the people that I was talking to was the idea that they didn't deserve to have feelings right now. I had a client who said, my career is going amazingly, with my family, I'm so safe. And and he said, I don't think that I should have sadness, and I don't think that I should feel this overwhelmed. And I was like, well, first I said, if you didn't feel sad and overwhelmed, you'd be like a sociopath. Do you know what I mean? Thank goodness you're having feelings. Thank goodness the heart is beating. Thank goodness. That's what makes us human, and that's what makes us capable of change, and that's what makes us capable of bravery and for fighting for this thing. And you know how I get about this. But here's the other thing as it pertains to what we all talk about here, right? Which is, how do I live in personal integrity with my food? How do I create a relationship with food and with myself that makes me thrive, that makes me better? And as we talk about it these days, that allows for me to rise up and be of service and help and love and be loved, and all of those things that if you have an abusive relationship with food, you know that it steals that from you. You know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. I'm talking about hard stuff now because this is a really important time and the world needs us very badly. And being really trapped in that abusive relationship with food, you know what it's like. It's so demoralizing and it's so hopeless. And then it makes us think about ourselves all of the time and how terrible we are and how useless we are and how we're unhelpable and how we're unlovable. How do we eat when we're too sad to? Sometimes we don't eat. It's okay. No one's going to melt. It's like if you skipped lunch, lunch is over. If you skip snack, snack is over. We don't have to binge. We don't have to binge. It's okay. It's okay if you don't have to stuff the food down your throat if that doesn't feel indicated to you. And shameful. Thank you, Janice. So we end up feeling shameful. We end up feeling hopeless and shameful. And there are some of you who may believe it, and we may be true. I had a really long conversation with one of my trusted people in my power circle that you're being helpful, which you probably are. My bet and my thought is always you can be like 1 billion times more helpful when you're in personal integrity and in a loving relationship with food. But you can't be when you're denying your feelings. You know what I say, my loves. The healing is in the feeling. And so this is what I said to this guy, because I said, listen, you would be a sociopath if you weren't having feelings right now. I mean, for those who are not having feelings, I have no words. Maybe sugar's numbing you out too much. I don't know. But the other thing I said was like, what ends up happening? You deny these feelings. And then you're at dinner with your family and you're exhausted from the day because denying your feelings and saying you don't deserve to have them is exhausting. Am I right? I mean, it is exhausting. And I said, so yeah, you're saying, I don't deserve to be sad. I don't deserve to be overwhelmed. And that happens. And that's an exhausting task. It's an exhausting task. And then you get to dinner and they're serving steak. And then you take a little extra and you take a little extra of the quinoa and you take a little extra. And house always wins. And it'll turn up in your food. You know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to avoid. And feelings are so important. They are so important. There's this expression, Amy, I want you to listen to this. There's this expression in the 12-step community that says feelings are not facts. I hate that expression more than life. I despise it. Because I think, certainly with the thoroughbreds that I chill with in the CTK community, I actually think that we are some of the more intuitive people, right? That's part of why we have to numb ourselves, is because we get these serious feelings, these big waves of feelings. We don't know what to do with them. So I actually think this crew, I think your feelings are incredibly informative. So I think when you're having them, that you say, feelings aren't facts, sure, but they're also incredibly informative. And so getting curious about them is so beautiful. And by the way, getting curious about your feelings instead of saying something like feelings aren't facts, I'm not allowed to have these feelings. I mean, not only does it help for you to not eat them, but it really, really improves your relationship with yourself. And if you're into this, your relationship with something bigger. I was listening to I was listening to Pema Chodron, who is so incredible. If you don't know her, she's one of my favorite teachers. She's a Buddhist monk. She's really incredible. I was listening to her podcast today with Oprah and Super Soul, and she was talking all about this, that really getting investigative and getting curious about your feelings is so important. And I talk about this a lot, but I'm talking about it really specifically in the time that we're in right now, where we don't feel like we deserve it, where we don't feel like we're worthy of having feelings. You guys, blah, blah, blah. By the way, it's also inefficient. Have your feelings, investigate your feelings, know your feelings, because then they can go through you. They don't have to own you. You don't have to eat them. We move the energy through. We don't have all this stuck energy. And then we're on the other end of it, ready to be of service, ready to love and be loved, ready to show up, ready to be brave, and not being the victim to our relationship with food. And that's the key. Because sugar, like many other things, like double wounding, is a thief and a terrorist. And we just don't have time for that anymore. I don't mean to sound invalidating. I'm a big time food addict. I was trapped in this disease for so many years. I'm not saying it's easy to get out of it. I'm saying it's necessary. I'm saying it's time. And I'm saying things that are worth fighting for are hard. And I believe in you. And we have a beautiful community. We have a beautiful community on Facebook. We have a beautiful community here. We have a beautiful community at Beacon. There's communities all over the place. And I want you to just think about this. I want you to think about it. That's right. The healing is in the feeling. But in order to heal the feeling, you have to have the feeling, and you have to commit to it. You have to know it's okay to be having feelings. Again, there'd be something very wrong with you if you weren't having feelings right now. There's a lot of feelings to be had. It's a lot of things to be thinking about. This is a epic time in our world. Epic. And I want you to be present for it. I want you to be available for it. I want you to be with us. So anyway, that's right. Oh, Carrie's saying something so beautiful. I want to share it with everybody. You know, she's saying, as I specialize in cancer, I give 100% to everyone, leaving 0% for myself. I can't read and she needs to heal herself. Of course. Let's talk about this tomorrow, Carrie. I'm obsessed with that. We're putting that on tomorrow's list. Yeah. And the truth is, Debbie's saying over here, riding through the feelings, they do go away. Of course. And that's there's a lot of Buddhism. So anyway, if you want some extra credit homework from CTK tonight, you can go on Oprah Super Soul podcast. You can find it anywhere. And you would listen to the Pema Children. She's incredible. You know who else is incredible? All of you. So let us sit together and let us close our kitchen, put our hands on our heart. Guys, we have to put our hands on our heart for so much today. Certainly for ourselves, and certainly for our feelings, and for all of our community, everyone around us, all those suffering, all those in their bravery, all those being brave and wise and loving. Oh, so much bravery in this world today, my friends. So much open-mindedness, Go where the helpers are. So, Josh has closed the kitchen. Incredible. Who else is closing the kitchen tonight? Sam, you're closing the kitchen. Amazing. Randy, you're incredible too. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. Love you guys. Who is closing the kitchen? Yay, Crystal closed the kitchen. Bernadette celebrating 1 year today. Amazing, Bernadette. Woohoo! Kitchen closed. Zach's closed the kitchen. Rachel, amazing. Amy, Sarah, Lisa, Randy, Alicia, Cheryl, Fab. Heather's closed the kitchen. Susie closed the kitchen. Great job, Susie. You're so brave. Diane's closed the kitchen. Sharon, Emily, Sam, Jean. I think Louie's coming in. Louie, come here. Steph has closed the kitchen. Sam, Julie, Carrie closed it at 4. Wow. Jean, Sherry, Andy, Mary, Carrie, amazing at 9:30. Janice, amazing. Sherry, Ronnie, love you, Ronnie. You're amazing. OG Mary, awesome. Bernadette, you're getting some cheers over on Instagram. Incredible. Well, you are amazing people. Let us continue to thrive. Let us continue to rise up. Let us continue to be brave. And remember this, if nobody's told you that they love you today, I love you so, 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 so much. Mwah. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. We'll talk about taking care of ourselves before we take care of other people. Topic. Love ya.